All right, guys, I watched Prey. It's finally here. Let's get into it. What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the BG Show. I finally watched Prey. I'm here to do a non-spoiler and spoiler review. Let's get right into it. I love the Predator franchise. I obviously loved it with Schwarzenegger. I was very curious about this one. Very different. It takes place in the 1700s. Let's do a non-spoiler first. First, should you watch the movie? Is it worth it to watch? 100% yes. It's the most watched Hulu release ever in the history of Hulu for a Hulu original. If you have Hulu, it's an hour and 38 minutes. It's right in the pocket. It's not too long. It costs you nothing if you're already subscribed. And yeah, I think it brings good value to the service, so definitely watch it. It's not bloated. If you don't like it, it's like I said, it's only an hour and 38 minutes. So if you haven't seen it yet, this is your warning. Go watch it. Things I like it non-spoiler quickly before I kind of spoil it. I love that it's a time period piece. I love that you kind of drop a Predator into the 1700s against Native Americans. Because if you think about it, without spoiling anything, they obviously haven't seen this technology before, nor have any of the white people during this time, nor have any of the poachers during this time. So that's kind of a new wrinkle on it. You're not able to, you are able to technically, you could have had someone like The Rock, someone really big, play a part, but they had someone, you know, they had a young woman play the role. So you couldn't rely on her physicality. They had to think of other ways to get smart. And I thought one of the best ways to do that was to, you know, have her be a Native American young woman. It's way more realistic and way more believable that she would have the skills to take down a predator at this time period than if you just had some other random, Mary Sue. So I don't think this is a Mary Sue situation. No one can take down a predator. It doesn't matter if you're a huge buff guy or if you're a woman or whatever. So in any situation, there's going to be an element of, of plot armor. So I would say definitely watch the movie if you haven't yet. And right now, I'm going to get into spoilers. So if you haven't seen it yet, stop now, go see it, and here comes my spoiler review. This is your warning. All right, guys, spoilers. So, the first thing I loved about this movie is the cinematography. Right off the bat, you can tell, I don't even know how to describe it. It just looks different than other movies. It really feels like you're there. It feels like you're it doesn't look like a backdrop. It definitely feels like you're on location. There's no green screen. It feels totally different than the Disney or the Marvel shows, which is a lot of stuff I've been covering already. So it looks a lot better. Like I said in the non-spoiler section, I love that they put them up against Native American people, that they did it for a time period piece. I think you can you can make 3 or 4 or 5 of these movies. Just keep dropping a predator into random time periods. Have a predator against pirates. Have a predator against Vikings. Have a predator against Eskimos. Have a predator against all sorts of people. Who the hell knows? Have a predator against other aliens. So I like this. Well, actually, stop myself. They actually did that. Duh, Alien versus Predator. So that was, but you know what I mean. Other aliens throughout space. I was thinking more gray aliens. Anyway, let's get into more things I liked about this movie. So I think things I liked and things I didn't like. Because honestly, as much as I like this movie, I think I'm surprised how much it's getting love. It reminds me a little bit of Miss Marvel in that there seems to be, there's a young female character. The show seems to be getting a lot of love from critics. But then there seems to be a part of the internet also that's calling it woke. And so people in the middle are kind of caught. Do I believe these people are they over exaggerating, or are these people kind of being biased because it's a woman? And like I said, this is why you have to watch it, because any show that comes out now with a lead female character is going to have this discourse every time. And honestly, I think it's too black and white to just have it one way or the other. They'll be good and bad for other reasons. Like ultimately, this show or movie won't be good or bad because of that. It'll be because of the script. I'm always about script. So when we talk about this movie, what else? Things I liked. Well, I love obviously that it's rated R. They didn't water it down to PG-13. There's a lot of blood, a lot of killing. You really feel the gruesomeness. It really makes you feel the pain. It makes you feel kind of the physicalness of the Predator, that he's much bigger, much more physically imposing. Although the thing that I hate, though, is that, this is the nature of the beast with his powers, but the Predator is a huge bitch, fighting, always invisible. So obviously it's supposed to be him hunting, like prey. The human are the prey. Normally we're hunting on animals. The Predator is hunting on us. That's the entire story, if you will. But I was kind of not disappointed. I just think the more I was thinking about it as I was watching it, the Predator is just a huge bitch. He fights invisible, and he takes a ton of damage the whole movie. I'm not just talking about when he gets killed at the end. Spoiler, he gets killed, obviously. But he's just taking damage the whole movie, even against some of the characters he kills. I mean, against Schwarzenegger, they have guns. They have much better technology in the 80s. It makes sense. But against the Native Americans, I know you don't want to disrespect them because they obviously were very good fighters and still are very good fighters. But the entire point of the movie is it's a Predator movie. It's not a Native American movie. It's never who the Predator... The Predator should always be highlighted as completely unstoppable. And I thought they kind of undermined him by having him constantly taken down. Ultimately, he gets killed by his own laser beam, which I thought was cool. She kind of dead sets it on him, the tri-beam. So I thought that was cool. Where does this rank in terms of my other Predator movies? It's a tough, there's really not too much to spoil other than saying the Predator died and how he died. In terms of it seems like the Predator, how he looks, I liked it. It definitely seems like the technology has advanced. They definitely didn't want it. He has very good tech, and it's better than obviously what we had, but it's definitely not as good as what he had in Alien vs. Predator or even the first Predator. So that was an interesting choice. Overall, I thought it was a very solid movie, especially for streaming. This is the thing. And the reason why, a lot of people are saying, oh, I wish this movie had a theatrical release. Well, if this had a theatrical release, the entire audience would now be paying $10.50 for it, which totally changes, I think, psychologically what you think about it. But, Hulu isn't free, but a lot of people have it as part of the Disney bundle, as part of the ESPN Plus bundle. So just psychologically having the free aspect on your side I think, contributes a lot to the positivity. So I think maybe having a retroactive release, even though people have seen it, maybe put it in theaters now would be a better idea. So overall, these are the kind of unique, everyone talks about, Marvel and Star Wars are ruining. They're not ruining movies. They found a new actress. They took an idea. They remade it. It wasn't perfect, but it was solid. It wasn't cliche. It's the first ever movie in, I hope I'm saying this right, Comanche language, dubbed in Native American Comanche language, first movie ever. So you can watch it on that if you want to watch it. And yeah, I would say let's give this movie a grade. I am going to go... I'm trying to think of the movies I've done, what I liked. It's definitely above Thor, Love, and Thunder, even though it's apples and oranges. I just think about what I've done so far and what people may have watched of me. I'm going to give this I do reviews out of 100. I'm going to give this let's say 84 out of 100. This is an 84 out of 100. But even though that might not seem great, it's, there were some things I didn't like. I can't, go up to a 90. I think some people like this more than me. Like I said, the damage the Predator take is a huge negative for me, which is why I water it down. So yeah, this isn't one of my more in-depth reviews, but like I said, there wasn't a ton to really spoil. It's just a really good action movie. Where do I rank it in terms of before I go, where do I rank in terms of the other Predator movies? I definitely put the first Predator first. If you haven't seen the OG, watch it. 1987, Schwarzenegger. They're all on Hulu. So I'm going to go... I haven't seen all of them. But I'm going to put this one... It's a better made movie than Alien vs. Predator, but Alien vs. Predator I just watched as a kid. And it was such like a movie that was always on. Before the streaming era, it was just one of those rewatchable movies that was always on TV. I'm going to have to put this above Alien vs. Predator and probably under the original Predator. Probably right neck. Yeah, I'd say it's just tough to beat the nostalgia, so I'd say neck and neck with Predator 2. Maybe it's just... I would say this is probably the third best Predator movie. Not the best. And yeah, 84 out of 100. That's review. Thanks for watching, guys. Smash the subscribe button if you haven't already. I'll be doing a lot more of these, hopefully. I'd like to put at least one video out every day. That's the pace I'm hoping to do. Thanks for watching. This has been another review from the BG Show. Bye, guys.